touring cars. We've got a bunch. From speed demons to drift cars, super scale cars, all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, nitros, electric, trucks, muscle cars, supercars, and even flagship clappers. But the one brand of touring cars we have the most of is Tamiya. One of the oldest names in the game. We love these things. They definitely aren't the most exotic rigs. There's nothing really groundbreaking inside of these things. But if you believe in quantity over quality like we sometimes do, you are absolutely spoiled for choice. The list of cars looks like something from Gran Turismo. And it gives you the ability to own some of the cars you've lusted after for less than 1 month of insurance on your daily driver. That's why when A-Main had a sale for 15% off their entire site, I picked up a TT-02 for $98. And here it is. Beautiful, isn't it? The CLK AMG was one of those unicorn cars for me in high school. Worse than a BMW M3 in just about every single way, but oh my gosh, the noise, the drama, the way it turned tires into smoke if you even looked at the gas pedal. I wanted one. But with prices for the Ultimate Black Edition easily in the 6 figures now, I can only afford it in 10 scale, which is absolutely fine with me. This is 10 scale garage after all. So let's build one. While I did get the kit for $98, there are some other expenses I should tell you about. One, the servo. I'm just going to use this cheap one from the Jungle website, and it's actually pretty overkill for what we need. 2, a radio system. I'm using my Fly Sky here, but any old 2-channel radio system will do the job. 3, bearings. The kit comes with bushings, and while you can absolutely get away with using those, bearings are cheap and they'll last forever in this rig, an essential upgrade. 4, paint. The bodies come in clear, so you'll need some Lexan paint in whatever flavor you like to truly make it your own. We're also going to use this Hobbywing ESC. The kit comes with an ESC, but it uses a Tamiya connector, and honestly, we use so many adapters. I just want to use this one because it has a Dean's connector. We've built Tamiyas on this channel before, and we can usually get them done in a couple hours. But with this kit, we took our time and built it over the course of a few evenings, making sure it was good as it can be, and just enjoyed the process of building. Ethan is pretty good at painting bodies, so he tackled the body while I got the chassis freaking dialed. And before we knew it, this thing was ready to chop some 10 scale Audis. Now we can settle it once and for all. Which is the better chassis, the TT-01 or the TT-02? This is my Tamiya TT-01, and it is, of course, the classic Mercedes 190E. Similar story, I lusted after these things in high school. Let's look at some of the differences and similarities between these two chassis. Now, this one got a bearing kit as opposed to just using the bushings that come with the kit. I mean, for the money, you'd be silly not to. So the wheelbase is pretty much exactly the same. The layout is very much the same. It is a 4-wheel drive, shaft-driven, big old foam frumpy bumpy RC touring car. The motors are the same. In this one we're using a Futaba radio system as opposed to the Fly Sky here in the TT-02. Everything is plastic. The shocks are not oil filled. They are just friction shocks, which I usually frown upon. However, they handle this chassis really, really well. We've used oil filled shocks on Tamiya chassis in the past, and honestly, the friction shocks are just about the best bang for the buck shocks on this thing. You have to spend quite a bit of money before you get shocks that, in my opinion, perform any better than the stock ones. You do have this center brace in the TT-01, which I actually kind of like. There's not a whole lot of flex in the chassis. For being plastic, it is pretty rigid, but it's nice to have the peace of mind of having this big backbone that runs right down the middle of the car. The biggest downside by a huge margin, in my opinion, on the TT-01 is the battery tray. You can see that this battery tray is really designed for nickel metal hydride batteries. Something like a 6-cell nickel metal hydride. So fitting a flat rectangular LiPo battery in this thing is an absolute pain. Really, you need to buy the rounded edge LiPo batteries, which means you are extremely limited for your choice of batteries to run in this thing. We only have a few batteries that we can fit in this chassis. It's also worth mentioning that there is a much, much larger aftermarket for the TT-02 as opposed to the TT-01. You can absolutely spend money out the gills and do all kinds of aluminum upgrades on this thing. Is it worth it? In my opinion, probably not. These things drive pretty smooth for what they are. So how do these little differences add up on the street, on the track? That is what we're here to find out. Let's take these things out. Let's stop talking about them. Let's actually run them. So let's just answer the question, which one is faster? We've got two cars, we've got a strip of asphalt here, we've got arrows painted on the ground. Ready for a drag race? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, they're so easily met. Oh, did you?
Yeah, I thought we were going to hit
Three, two, one, go. Oh, you got the jump on me. I'm reeling in. So that's kind of what I would expect. They're both brushless motors. They're both geared, I think, exactly the same. And wouldn't you know, I put as close to the same battery in it as I could. The 190E has a 30 C2S, and the CLK has, I think, a 50 C2S. So, all right, so we're gonna try a little bit of maneuverability between all of these doodles and see how they feel next to each other. Oh, scuffed. Ethan was just doing it and you were doing real good. Now what's going on?
It's tricky.
Oh! So Ethan pointed out, and I agree, that the front of the Mercedes is a little twitchy. Yeah, the servo doesn't always return to center.
For some reason, yeah.
Which is a little strange. See, there's a delay there.
Yeah.
So it might just be the radio system. It might be the steering linkage between the servo and the steering arms, but who knows?
Yeah,
it
it's
definitely
weird.
makes it a little challenging to drive quickly, though.
It does. That's where it was not going so well for me in that.
Oh, Jesus!
No! What did you do?
No idea.
Oh,
dude,
no!
We knocked it off.
No!
Oh, dang!
Oh.
It's got to be around here somewhere.
Well, there's an extra one in the box.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a little bit of dingus left there, but
Oh, the beautiful body.
the dongus is broke off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh.
We drove the cars hard for about an hour, comparing them with each other, and we decided that the TT-02 is the better chassis. The TT-01 seems to understeer at high speed, but they're so close that it could be down to the tires and the lighter diff grease that we used in the TT-01 when we built it. So which is better? Definitely the TT-02, just for the sake of battery fitment and aftermarket. So if you're looking for a brushed, four-wheel drive, 10-skill Mercedes, there is only one option. This. The Kyosho Phaser Mark II. For less than $250, this thing is better than a Tamiya in every single way. It's much, much faster. 3, 2, 1, go.
I told you that thing was gonna dust it. Wow.
It handles better and arguably looks better. Best of all, you don't have to mess around building it and getting cramps in your fingers from a bajillion tiny little screws. You open the box and go. But is it better? Let's not forget that building is most of the reason that we love Tamiya. The connection that you have with your car, the satisfaction of building something beautiful yourself. Something that you know inside and out. Something you can be confident in maintaining and repairing yourself when your best friend smashes it into this water doodle thing at the splash pad. We built these cars, not some robot in China. We got to hang out in the shop for a few hours each night, talk about cars, and forget the drama of the rest of the world. And that's something that you can't buy. So if you've never built an RC car from a kit, do it. Find your dream car and own it in 10th scale. And when someone asks you where you got it, you can tell them you built it. And that you got it for A-Main for 15% off. Seriously, now's the time. Link in the description. So what do you think? The ready-to-run Kyosho absolutely dominates the Tamiyas that we built. What does that say about us?
They're cheaters.
That's got to be it.
Yeah.
What we built is perfect.
Those things are built in Michigan.
So anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Have you built a Tamiya? Did you spec yours out? Is yours faster than a stock Kyosho Phaser Mark II? Let me know down below. And of course, if this is your first time checking out the channel, welcome. I'm glad you found it. We like to do RC shenanigans like this all the time. We've got some wicked stuff coming up. You're going to want to stick around. Man, it feels good to come outside and play with touring cars
My fingertips
again.
don't agree.
Yeah, well. All right, let's go. Let's go once more.
Chopping limbs out here.